How would Ratan Tata like to be remembered?
Very quickly, what I said earlier, I'd like to be remembered as a person who made a difference. Not anything more, not anything less.
You're active on social media. You're on Twitter. You're now also on Instagram. Are you enjoying that experience? And you said previously that there's nowhere to escape from the virus and from the pandemic. But with the vaccination and hopefully with the world opening up, where would you like to escape to?
If I think about how would I like to be remembered,
Mm.
I would like to be remembered as a person who was able to make a change, uh, who is able to be responsible for some change in the way we looked at things. What that might be spelt out as, I can't really say, because I have a feeling that that's going to just happen one day, where you become the innovator of something that people have talked about and not done. And you have found that little alley that enables you to do something which people thought was unviable and not possible. That would be an immensely um, exciting area to be in. And if one could have that satisfaction of saying, I enabled an artificial eye to be
Mm.
created, or I enabled X or Y or Z to happen, that to me, even if it were not financially the most successful, what it brings to the world would be exciting to a person like me.
You're probably looking at a bunch of decks and investable opportunities on a daily basis, Mr. Tata. What has wowed you, or what wows you today as you look at opportunities? Which are the sectors that you feel that you must back? Because you also said that this is an opportunity that people must capitalize on, and you can stretch the envelope to as much as you want. So, where do you believe the constraints lie? What is wowing you today? How are you looking at the investment landscape?
Well, I think first of all, you have to accept that you're going to have a choice of, let's say, 10 companies, of which 8 are going to fail. Uh, they may fail for lack of investment, they may fail for a mistaken element, but that they're not going to be highly successful. And that's not going to turn you away from looking at enterprises, that you're going to continue the quest to do so, because 2 or 3 out of 10 are going to succeed. Or you hope that your vision enables them to succeed. Uh, there's no pro forma that tells you that if you go down this checklist, that you're going to be backing a winning company. One may be in healthcare, one may be in life science. You may have 4 or 5 in electronics. You can have unbelievable connections between, let's say, electronics and life sciences, or nanotechnology, or these are actually areas of enterprise that have come from uh, these new areas of business, and are going to continue to be exciting areas. And some of them, unfortunately, you get terribly excited about uh, as as something that can happen. Let's say almost like science fiction movies, you can see that this really could be so. You could have a telephone conversation with another person in another language and speak as though it's the same language that you're talking in interacting with a person in real time in a very different way. And it may seem again that this would be terrific, but it doesn't work, or it doesn't work with these founders. It's all a question of the people behind the brains behind the enterprise you're looking at. And in my view, the link that you have to the investor is, do you give that investor the chance to play out that role model that he wants to, or are you going to constrain and try to second guess him as you go along? Both have their pluses and both have their minuses. But the entrepreneur who enjoys the trust and the confidence and the excitement in a new venture is going to be more successful, or should be more successful, than the other one who's trying to use his vast knowledge and his risk awareness also to control the enterprise is going to have.
When you look back at this life, biggest achievement in your mind? What would you define as your biggest achievement?
I really wouldn't be able to define that. There have been many moments which make one feel a sense of great satisfaction, and there have been a few times when it's almost despair.
So then I won't ask you which was your most despaired moment, as it were.
That's an easier one to answer, because I've always felt the greatest despair I had was when Tata's decided to put Central India Mills, which was what Jamsetji started, into liquidation for, if I recall at that time, it was 50 lakhs of rupees.
Yes.
I thought this was a very un-Tata-like move, but it was done, and many people went out of work. I saw the misery that it caused. Blue-collar workers got taken care of by the government, but the officers of the company really suffered, and that's remained in my heart as something that was a moment of.
Next year, and I know you don't like anniversaries, but next year, the House of Tata will turn 150. That's a significant milestone for any industrial group, especially, in young, vibrant democracies like ours. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I'm very happy to see that we've held together for that period of time. And many companies disintegrate in that kind of period, or are just a tombstone. And I think we should do everything we can to preserve it and to continue that. As I said earlier, the group may change. It may look different in the next 30 years, 50 years, but it should embody the same values and the same ethical standards that it has had. It should never forget that most of its earnings go to philanthropy, not in the pockets of founders and leaders, and that it's doing something for the common good of mankind. I think that's very satisfying if that were to happen.
For more news and updates, all you need to do is follow CNBC TV 18 on all of our digital platforms.